Right now at 5, the heart and soul of the election process, how poll workers make sure everyone gets a chance to vote.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Amy is off. The midterm election is less than 2 weeks away, and a group of people are getting ready to walk voters through the voting process on Election Day. News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to a local poll worker who encourages everyone to learn about the election process. Good evening, Dua.
Ken, poll workers are often considered an essential part of democracy. They make sure the voting process runs as smoothly and quickly as possible. In Onalaska, 55 poll workers gathered today for training. Poll worker Kathleen Kennedy has always been interested in government. In April, Kennedy signed up to be a poll worker for the primary election. Kennedy says she enjoyed being a part of the election process, so she signed up to be a poll worker again. Kennedy says being a poll worker gives her firsthand experience into the election process.
I feel reassured again by our clerks that our process is as safe as it can be. A lot of safeguards in place.
Poll workers and chief investigators are responsible for a variety of tasks at the polling place, including checking in voters, getting voters registered on the day of, and assisting with voting machines, and even processing and counting ballots. When there aren't enough poll workers, that may lead to longer wait times to cast your ballot. Kennedy says she wants everyone to be a poll worker at least once so that everyone can understand how safe the election process is. Ken?
All right, thanks very much, Dua. And the election, of course, Tuesday, November 8th. Time to switch it up, talk some weather. We'll send it over to Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl for a look at your forecast.
Well, as advertised, temperatures today about where they should be for this time of year. That's what seasonable means in the world of meteorology. I can actually update that 56 to a 57 in La Crosse, which is right on average. 54 in Eau Claire and Winona, 58 in Black River Falls, also 58 in Prairie du Chien and Boscobel. We've had kind of a mix of sun and clouds, and that trend continues this evening. Now, radar is lighting up with some light returns, but none of this is reaching the ground. This is running into some much drier air, so maybe a few spits and sprinkles off to our west, but for the most part, we will just see some passing clouds this evening and into the overnight. Current temperatures not too far off those highs in the lower to middle 50s for most, and we'll see mostly to partly cloudy skies overnight, seasonably cool, lows in the 30s for most, including about 38 in La Crosse, fairly light southeasterly breeze at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. If you're a fan of mild fall temperatures, you're going to like my 8-day forecast. Stick around.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Bill. Well, during a recent campaign stop in Sparta, Republican candidate for Congress Derek Van Orden said leftists cannot be Christians. He said, quote, "There are many God-fearing Christians who are Democrats. There's not a single God-fearing Christian that is a leftist because those two things are incompatible." He then called for a return to the Judeo-Christian values that, quote, "this country was based on." Van Orden's opponent, Brad Pfaff, Democrat and practicing Lutheran, said during a press conference that the comments were, quote, "an attack on anyone that doesn't agree with Derek politically." A local retired pastor agreed and says he felt hurt by the comment.
When one part of the faith calls another part not faithful or not Christian is deeply hurtful. It's hard work, and I'm standing here to say I would like to bring unity and peace among people of faith.
Now, Van Orden responded to Pfaff's press conference but did not address his comments on faith. Van Orden said, quote, "Brad Pfaff supports the big government socialist spending that has led to the highest inflation in 40 years, the open border that has led to over 100,000 Americans dying from fentanyl overdoses, and the FBI labeling parents at school board meetings domestic terrorists. Pfaff is the radical here and will say anything for personal political power." The Republican candidate for Wisconsin's Secretary of State believes the way the state oversees elections should fundamentally change. Amy Loudenbeck is running against incumbent Democrat Doug LaFollette, who has served more than 40 years as Secretary of State. Loudenbeck, a current Assemblywoman, says per her website, the Wisconsin Elections Commission should be abolished. When asked about getting rid of the WEC, Loudenbeck says she wants the Secretary of State's office involved in Wisconsin elections.
I'm running to restore purpose and responsibility and respect to the office. And so one of the suggestions that I would have for the legislature that's sworn in January, if they're looking at making changes to the Election Commission or getting rid of it, would be to include this constitutional office. I'd advocate for a new model that included this office as part of its new construct.
Currently, Wisconsin Secretary of State office is not involved in election processes. Loudenbeck also says if elected, she will help clear the backlog of documents that need authentication and advocate to update the office's processes. A special guest hopes to engage young voters before the election. Senator Bernie Sanders will make a stop in La Crosse as part of a Next Gen America's Our Future Is Now tour on Friday, November 4th, just days before the election. Attractions like live performances and celebrity appearances are geared to help motivate people get up and vote. Sanders will also visit Eau Claire and Madison that same day. You can visit news8000.com for more information on the upcoming event. Wisconsin is becoming the first state in the nation to provide housing benefits to low-income families through a children's health insurance program. The state's Department of Health Services got approval from the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services to provide housing support to people with children who have low income and are currently homeless. Support will include helping people find housing, fill out leases, and fund security deposits and moving expenses. DHS leaders say having stable housing is the first step toward leading a healthier life.
Helping folks find and keep a roof over their heads is an essential part of making sure that families with children living at home and pregnant women have a solid foundation for building a healthy future.
The programs help get people into housing, but the program will not be helping people pay ongoing rent costs. You may need to alter your travel plans if you're driving through Southside La Crosse. Crews have begun working on South Avenue between Green Bay Street and West Ave. Starting Friday, this area of the road will be closed to traffic for sewer work. Expect the road to reopen by Halloween. And to get around the road closure, you'll need to detour by using Jackson Street and Losey Boulevard. Mental health issues are growing in La Crosse and surrounding areas. And the Family and Children's Center in La Crosse will be hosting a presentation called The Bridges to Better Tomorrow. The event focuses on improving the community's mental health at large. Featured speakers will talk about goals for the Family and Children's Center's future.
Without the support of the community and the philanthropic community, we wouldn't be able to do some of the work that we're doing right now. So any support is appreciated.
The event is set for November 10th and is free to the public. People who are interested in going are asked to register by October 31st to secure a seat. We'll have the registration link at news8000.com. One company is supporting workers who don't get enough appreciation. This month, Xcel Energy has been recognizing their dedicated frontline workers. Xcel Energy employees got up bright and early this morning to serve their workers a free and delicious breakfast. They say that these employees don't get enough appreciation for the work that they do for the community.
These guys work hard and probably don't get the appreciation that they really deserve. And, you know, most of these workers are the ones that, if it's storming out, they're the ones trying to fix the lines, or if there's a gas leak, they're the ones, you know, trying to fix everything.
The unsung heroes. Xcel Energy partnered with Quick Trip to host these drive-thrus throughout Xcel's service area. The community is welcoming Ukrainians with open arms. Through the La Crosse Welcome Circle, our area will welcome Ukrainians fleeing the Russian invasion. It's part of a process called Uniting for Ukraine. 100,000 Ukrainians will be welcomed across the nation through a sponsorship program. The program is streamlined as Ukrainians cannot enter the U.S. without a sponsor. Although the La Crosse Welcome Center will help people through a federal program, leaders say it's more about building community.
The sponsorship is what the United States government indicates is the sponsorship, but in practice, it's becoming part of a community of people who are welcoming the newcomers.
Anyway.
So far, 6 Ukrainians will arrive in November, and the Welcome Circle will assist them with finding jobs and housing. If you'd like to help, we have more info at news8000.com. Coming up tonight at 5, Uvalde parents and community members are asking for the truth. They're requesting that a major public safety official resign.
They found my sister's head in a wood-burning stove, her body in a cornfield, murdered by her own husband. The judge called it the most heinous crime he'd ever seen, and the killer was sent to jail for life. But Tony Evers' parole commission set him free, and they didn't even tell us. Under Evers, hundreds of other violent criminals have been released early. It makes no sense. Governor Evers, everyone in Wisconsin is less safe because of you.
The day before Halloween on Sunday, October 30th.
It's Buzzy's 44th annual 12-hour sale.
Get the best deals of the year.
12 hours only, 9 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Furniture pricing has been drastically reduced with more than 50% off select products. Get a king-size Sealy mattress for the price of a queen. Plus, save $300 on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses and get a free gift with purchase. Come by the store or shop online. One day only at your locally owned Buzzy's Home Furnishings in Viroqua.
You heard the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Madison insider and career politician Steve Doyle, completely out of touch. Under Doyle's failed leadership, soaring inflation, high gas prices, rising crime, and party bosses and insiders are funneling over $500,000 to keep Doyle in power. Answering to them, not us. It's time for change. Ryan Hipsch, born and raised here in the Cooley region. Ryan is a fresh voice who will always put our communities first, not the Madison insiders. Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
Add character from floor to ceiling with 11% off everything at Menards. Upgrade your home today with Shaw Flooring. From soft and luxurious carpet to durable laminate flooring or waterproof vinyl plank. Save 11% at all Shaw Flooring. Find your style with Patriot Lighting. Ceiling fans make a beautiful addition to any room while helping you save on energy costs year-round. Get 11% off all Patriot Lighting ceiling fans at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
5 months into the investigation of the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, parents and local leaders continue to demand answers and full transparency. Michael George has the latest from New York.
Why didn't they go in there?
Uvalde families squared off with the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety over officers' delayed response to the school shooting.
If you're a man of your word, then you would retire.
State troopers outnumbered local law enforcement outside Robb Elementary last May, but hesitated to stop the gunman who killed 2 teachers and 19 children.
It wasn't the lack of just the training or the courage that kept them, the law enforcement, from saving lives. It was a fear of the weapon that was used.
There should never have been any delay. There's just no excuse for it.
At Thursday's meeting, families called on DPS Director Colonel Steve McCraw to resign.
If DPS as an institution failed the families, failed the school, or failed the community of Uvalde, then absolutely, I need to go. But I can tell you this right now, DPS as an institution, right now, did not fail the community.
Texas State Democratic Senator Roland Gutierrez, whose district includes Uvalde, demanded more accountability and transparency.
I want to know where each and every one of their leadership were, and they've refused to give me the GPS data of their cars.
Just last week, the department fired a trooper who responded to the Uvalde shooting. The Texas DPS says several other officers are currently under investigation. Michael George, CBS News.
And the head of the Texas Department of Public Safety also says a criminal investigation looking into the police response should be finished by the end of the year. Still to come, Halloween might be the most sugary time of year, but health experts say you can find a healthy balance, especially if you're on a diet.
And if you are liking milder temperatures, I've got some good news for you with my 8-day forecast. It's coming up right after the break.
Under Tony Evers and Joe Biden, it's been bad, but it's gonna get much worse because winter is coming. That's right. Reports are saying natural gas heating bills are going up by 28%. Inflation has already caused pain at the pump, grocery checkouts, on rent. But this fall, there's still time to stop the winter pain by voting no on Tony Evers before he makes it even worse, if that's possible.
Chevy Silverado. It's got the power you want and the capability you need to do the job so you can get to the important work. Find new moments, find new roads. Get $500 cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7-liter engine. Plus, current Chevy owners can get an additional $2,500 cash allowance. Plus, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward a new Chevy truck with accessories.
Never miss the bus again with the new La Crosse MTU mobile app. Search City of La Crosse MTU in your app store and start planning your trip today. See your bus in real time or click a stop to see your next arrival. Download today.
This is fentanyl, so dangerous that one pill kills. They make it in China, smuggle it through Mexico. Across our border that Joe Biden surrendered to cartels and gangs. Brad Pfaff backs Biden's open border agenda 100%. Fentanyl killed 1,200 people last year in Wisconsin alone. Now every town is a border town. Pfaff won't stop the drugs, so we have to stop Brad Pfaff.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
911, what's your emergency?
I smell something delicious and I don't know what it is.
Ma'am, we've traced the smell, and it's coming from inside your oven.
Ah, amazing!
Papa Murphy's.
Inflation's eating up all our savings.
Our home value is plummeting.
Yet Biden and Mandela Barnes support a massive tax increase on middle-class families. Are you kidding?
Now Barnes supports hiring an army of IRS agents to audit working families. Who needs that headache?
How about Barnes starts worrying about paying his own taxes?
Wisconsin Truth PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Trick-or-treating can, of course, be fun, but for people who may be on a diet, it gets a little tricky. With Halloween less than 4 days away, watching what you eat at Halloween can be pretty darn challenging. Now, according to Mayo Clinic dietitians, finding a good balance between healthy and sugar is important, and it teaches kids to enjoy the healthy foods along with the candy they love.
I think a fun way to engage children in enjoying those foods is asking them about their experience while they're eating it. So if they're eating a Snickers bar, ask them, what do they taste? How does it smell? What does it feel like? You know, what's that experience like for them?
Experts recommend that parents limit the Halloween candy to 2 snacks after dinner and treat Halloween candy like a sometimes food. It's a slippery slope to try and stay equal to that, but I know I don't have the willpower to stay to 2 snacks per Halloween night, but let's go to Bill Grahl with the latest.
Yeah, it's always the challenge with the Halloween holiday.
Impossible.
But, all right, let's start with the drought monitor. This is probably no surprise to you, but drought conditions persist. Even after that beneficial rain on Sunday and Monday, we need some more. Abnormally dry conditions kind of near and south and west of La Crosse. Many counties to the south and east and northwest of La Crosse in moderate drought. Again, that's level 2. Severe drought over far northwestern parts of our viewing area west of Eau Claire, and then even extreme drought near and south and west of the Twin Cities. So again, the reason why, if you look at the bottom of the almanac here, precip for the year, 25.48 inches, 6.15 inches below average. So again, we are really running a deficit, and even for October with that recent rainfall put us over an inch, but still 1.19 inches below average. 57 the high today, 34 the low, so pretty close to those averages of 56 and 38. Still 56 with a mostly cloudy sky downtown and out at the airport as well. And the Mississippi falling a bit, 5.08 feet. Mainly cloudy in Eau Claire as well, 53, calm wind there, and the pressure holding steady. Now temperatures fairly uniform across the middle sections of the nation, with readings primarily in the 50s, a couple of lower 60s down over the Central Plains. Closer to home, primarily between about 51 and 57 degrees across the region, including that 53 in Eau Claire, 56 in La Crosse. Kind of a southeasterly breeze at 5 to 15. They'll come down to about 5 to 10 miles per hour overnight tonight. Clouds moving in from the south and west. A lot of radar returns here, but most of this is virga. It's evaporating before reaching the ground. The air is very, very dry thanks to this departing ridge of high pressure. And the main low is going to pass by well to our south. So I think that's going to be where the best rain chances will be, is south and east of La Crosse. Otherwise, that rain kind of fizzles as it approaches the area. Wouldn't be shocked to see a few sprinkles, especially west of the Mississippi River, but even that's a long shot. Otherwise, partly to eventually mostly sunny skies for our Friday. Mainly clear tomorrow night, and plenty of sunshine as we head into our Saturday as well. Just a few fair weather clouds and spots. Zone forecast showing a pleasant end of the work week. Highs on either side of 60 degrees, right around 60 or 61 in the La Crosse area. Upper 50s to low 60s down to the south as well. And more of the same as we head back to the north. Even Eau Claire and Chippewa Falls looking at highs right around that 60-degree mark. So for later October, pretty comfortable. Tonight, mostly to partly cloudy, seasonably cool. Lows in La Crosse around 38. Most spots will range between about 32 and 39 degrees. 60 tomorrow, so a little bit warmer. Then today, the skies turn mostly sunny. And look at this. For late October, early November, I know we need some rainfall, but these are nice temperatures in the 60s, including a dry Monday for Halloween, even some mid to upper 60s Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that storm system kind of being delayed again by the forecast model, so I've pushed the next rain chance out until later next week. And especially by then, we would definitely need some more rainfall. So we'll see how that pans out.
Well, you teased mild temperatures, and boy, did you deliver in this 8-day.
There we go.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Still to come, a local man making memories with second graders that they will never forget. We'll have more on the program that helps him do so after the break.
Friday on News 8 Now this morning, as we wrap up another work week together, one auto shop is seeing customers running through the doors to purchase their lottery tickets ahead of Saturday's drawing. And an Iowa dad found a creative way to turn his front door into a monster just in time for Halloween. See what we did there? We'll see you tomorrow morning. We hope you have a great Thursday night. More News 8 Now is coming up after the break.
Fall Home Show going on now at the Board Store. Visit today and see what's new and get your $250 discount coupon. Register for prizes and visit with designers. Hope to see you soon.
His job was to serve and protect. Instead, reports say Dave Estenson assaulted and preyed on girls for years. One report of sexually assaulting a teenager. Multiple reports of Estenson trying to coerce girls into sexual favors to avoid citations. And Estenson wants to ban all abortions, forcing victims of rape and incest to carry their predator's child. Sexual predators belong behind bars, not in the state Senate.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Fall Workwear event is going on now. We're your one-stop shop for quality boots and apparel, offering fair and honest prices on workwear to help your hard-earned dollars go further. Right now, get $25 in Carhartt bucks for every $125 you spend on Carhartt gear, including these men's Carhartt Wedge boots with built-in support for any job site. All Wolverine and Catwork boots are $10 off, and men's Rustler jeans are just $14.99.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
I see your hard work, everything you do to try to make it. But people continue to be left behind. I'm running for Senate to put more money in your pocket. Ron Johnson's had 12 years to make things better, but costs are still rising, and all he's managed to do is write a tax cut for himself. I believe better is possible. I believe hard work can pay off, and I'll never stop fighting until it does. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
We're at the Black Panther Wakanda Forever premiere.
I think we've done it absolute justice.
Next, ET.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
The UW La Crosse women's volleyball team dedicates one game a year as their Playing for a Cause game. This year, they are playing for Alzheimer's awareness. Eagle Volleyball will play its Attacking Alzheimer's match at 7 p.m. tomorrow at Mitchell Hall against UW Stevens Point. The inspiration for this year's cause comes from the mother of their former coach, Abby Sutherland, who has Alzheimer's. The team invites their supporters to donate to the Alzheimer's Association. We'll have more information on news8000.com. An organization is uniting people ages young and old. Workforce Connections runs the Foster Grandparent Program, which connects people age 55 and over with elementary students across the Cooley region. The nonprofit has been helping kids and their foster grandparents make memories for 7 years. One grandparent started bonding with students on his own about a decade ago. Over the years, Grandpa Jerry has met with 70 different second graders, and he's seen them grow into amazing individuals.
The main idea is that these kids have really developed into fine young people. And am I going to take the credit for it? I'm not. It's these kids. It's the kids that have gone and done it and have really improved the way they have.
And Workforce Connections is actually looking for more foster grandparents. You can go to news8000.com for more details on how to get involved. We'll have a look at what's coming up at 6 after the break, and Bill will have another look at tonight's forecast.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
Life without Fanati's. Life with Fanati's. Fanati's on Main Street in La Crosse is the only place you'll find this kind of variety, including our totally scrumptious caramel apples, juicy, tart, and smothered in creamy, buttery caramel. Fanati's caramel apples, yeah, they're that good. Celebrate life with Fanati's in downtown La Crosse.
The great experiences you have in here, and even out here, all started here. Because the best customer experience always leaves a great impression. GMC, awarded #1 in sales satisfaction by J.D. Power. Sierra models are arriving weekly at your local GMC dealers, available for immediate delivery with 0% financing.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
It's time. Time to get out and rediscover Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls. Grab your friends and play for the day, or 2, or 3. It's time for you to win, laugh, and enjoy. Over 650 slot machines, tables, bingo, great rewards, delicious food. Ho-Chunk Gaming, just what you need. Get out again and experience the difference at Ho-Chunk Gaming Black River Falls.
A governor's job is to make your life better. But would anything on Tim Michaels' agenda actually help you? His rhetoric is violent.
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
At his company, women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. And he said he'd consider abolishing the Department of Public Instruction. It's a radical's dream, but it wouldn't do a single thing for you. Tony Evers' plan is pretty simple. Create good-paying jobs and bring costs down. That's the right plan for Wisconsin.
Sofas, sectionals, recliners, even bedroom and dining room. They're all on sale now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Best of all, there's no delay. We've been stocking our most popular styles in our warehouse all summer. That means you don't have to wait to get the furniture you've always wanted. You'll find incredible values from some of our best brands like Smith Brothers, Canal Dover, and Lazy Boy. Hurry in now for the biggest selection. Shop Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
Coming up on News 8 now at 6, a strained budget is pushing Holmen police and EMS services to the limit. Now the village is turning to its residents for help. Tonight we dive into Holmen's public safety referendum, what the village is asking for, why the village is resorting to referendum, and what passage would do for the village's emergency personnel. That story coming up at 6.
And not a bad later October evening. We've got some passing clouds. Temperatures are seasonable, though, in the low to mid 50s right now. They'll gradually drop through the 40s, probably end up in the upper 30s for early morning lows in the La Crosse area, right around 38 degrees. Most spots between about 32 and 39 with a mostly to partly cloudy sky overnight. Look at this 8-day forecast, though. 60 tomorrow, lower 60s for the weekend, even some mid to upper 60s for much of next week. And it's looking mainly dry until later next week. And again, that's good news for all those ghosts and goblins on Monday evening for Halloween.
Sure it is. That 8-day looking like a work of art. Thanks for everyone joining us tonight. We'll see you at 6.